All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you again for taking time out of your day to view my content. Please subscribe if you have not done so. Hit the bell, all that good stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends. I want to bring somebody into the spotlight today. Somebody that I usually wouldn't talk about, particularly not in their own craft, because I don't watch football. And that is one Cam Newton. I was going to say Cameron Newton. I don't know if his first name's Cameron or not, or if it really is just Cam. But he was on a podcast, he was on a show, YouTube kind of content creator show recently, and he spoke about his situation with his kids and the mothers of his children, I should say. Now, only God can judge, right? We know that. We established that. That's a very common theme amongst humans, a common understanding, at least amongst those that believe in God. Maybe not religiously, because again, I'm not a religious person. I definitely believe in a God. However, with that said, only God can judge, right? We can look at something and say, hey, that's immoral. We can look at something and say, hey, that's not right, it's not fair. But if it doesn't harm us or our immediate circle, what really can we do about it, right? I'm not talking about your feelings and your thoughts and what you think should be done. I'm talking, what can you do about it? I'm nobody to tell Cam Newton, hey, you probably shouldn't have one, kids out of wedlock, or kids with multiple different women. I can say that, right? But it's not gonna get to him. Two, who the hell am I? So Cam Newton was on the show talking about how he said, I have 8 children, 3 different baby mothers. He said, the crazy thing is, I want more. So the host asks him, okay, what do you mean? You want more women involved, or like by the same, women that, you have the initial 8 kids from? How are you going to do this? And our boy Cam says, God will bring them to me. That's where you got to press pause, not in a no homo sort of way, but you got to stop what's going on, and you got to think about and reflect and what's really going on. Now listen, first and foremost, Cam Newton, multi-million-dollar guy. I don't really pocket watch. I know athletes in particular, their financial situation is out there because you got Sports Center, you got FS1. As soon as these guys get signed, as soon as these guys sign extensions to their contract, the numbers are crystal clear for anybody to see. It's not really the case for musicians. It's not really the case for other entertainers. While it is public, it's not hard to find. It's just not publicized the same way it is with athletes. So again, I'm not pocket watching. I don't know how much Cam Newton is worth, what his net worth is, and all that, but he's a multi-million-dollar man, and he has his own ventures outside of football. Because ever since he stopped playing football or was on his last team, I mean, he hasn't really been strapped for cash. At least it doesn't seem like it in the public eye. So first and foremost, if Cam Newton wants to do that, I'm sure he can afford it, right? He's not like you and I, where we're working the 9 to 5 and maybe have to take up a second job and then have to drive Uber, and that 2-3 hours that we do have free time. Cam Newton can afford to have more children if he wants to have more children. Is it morally correct? Is it a morally righteous thing to do? Probably not. Definitely not. I don't even know why I said probably not. A lot of the videos that I saw about Cam Newton, it kind of cut off there, right where he kind of said that, and the content creator would say their own piece. I will say this: I'm a huge believer in giving the benefit of the doubt unless something is blatantly wrong, right? Cam Newton, if he wanted to adopt these children, I would 100% salute, respect that, because on one side of the coin you have all these kids who maybe they don't know who their parents are. Maybe they know who their parents are. Their parents passed away, unfortunately. Maybe their parents they know who their parents are, and their parents themselves put them up for adoption. All sorts of crazy things, all sorts of scenarios and whatnot. The flip side of that coin, right, you have a lot of people who are very I don't want to say prideful, right? Because I mean, I a lot of us are in this boat. If we find a partner and we settle down and we want to start a family, a lot of us, we want our own kids, right? We want our own offspring. And people won't really adopt unless one, they cannot conceive, whether it's the man or the woman cannot conceive. Maybe, she has something to do with her eggs, or, his sperm doesn't work, whatever the case may be. So, hey, let's adopt. Okay, we'll adopt a couple children. Or if you have somebody like Cam Newton, for example, who is filthy rich, he's probably single. I'm sure the mother of his children are still in his lives. He did mention that all his kids, he has custody of all his children, which is a cool thing, which is a good thing. It's a W for men, it's a W for dads, because that's a very hard thing to do in divorce court, is getting custody of your children. So he has custody of his kids, which is great. But he's saying, I want more kids. Again, if he adopts, salute, more respect to you, because that's something a lot of people don't want to do. A lot of, ordinary people, and I don't want to call us ordinary people, but, everyday, real life people that are not on the center stage, that are not on television, that are not on the court, on the turf, on the field. Us everyday 9-to-5 folk. We don't want to do that, right? Most of us, at least. And if we don't, then there's, I guess, the notion obviously would then be, well, if I don't want to, why would somebody who's, athletically accomplished or musically accomplished, why would they want to do that? This kind of ties into what my previous video was, taking a tolerance break from America, because this is a straight Nick Cannon mindset. This is like a Nick Cannon thought process that's going on. Hey, I'm rich, I can have more kids, insert woman's name here, and we hit it off, there was a little something there was chemistry, and boom, we had a kid. 9 months later, baby is here. That only happens in America. People just knocking somebody up, and we have the kid, and we're not going to get married. And I'm not saying if you have a kid with somebody you have to get married, but statistically, a child that grows up in a home with both mom and dad are married and whatnot, they have a better chance of making something of themselves. And that's not me saying that, that's statistics. The fact that you don't want to do that you do kind of want to create a broken home. And I got to side with I don't know what old girl's name was, but she said that to him. She said, you're creating a broken home. And he tried to rebuttal with, well, I have, the whole custody of my 8 kids thing, and, this and that. But the mother's not there, right? We talk a lot about single moms and how not having a father in the picture will make a kid, especially a boy, more effeminate, more emotional, more, prone to violence and crime. But there's got to be something like that with the mother too, right? Like, I don't know exactly what characteristics. Maybe the kid won't be as understanding, compassionate, friendly, maybe. And I'm just guessing, right? I'm just guessing, because I haven't looked at any of those studies about not having mothers in the home, because it's very rare here. It's usually the father that's not in the home. It's usually the mother will have the kid, and she'll, get custody of the kid. And, there's a lot of women about, using the kid as advantage, leverage to get child support, this and that. That's not what this is. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just kind of throwing that out there. But yeah, man, this is that American mindset. This is the degenerate side of that American mindset of more, even when it's not morally right, when it's not right in a relationship sense, like I just said, not having the mother around. And it's just, it honestly kind of makes you look like a dude who can't control his sexual urges, right? Unless you're adopting, right? Because if you're not going to adopt, obviously you have to go find some woman and, impregnate her, right? He's probably not talking about the first 3 women he already has kids with. I'm going to tell you that straight up. I don't know him. I don't know, I've never been in a room with him. I've been in the same city as him. When the Super Bowl, I believe like 10-ish years ago, was in Santa Clara, and they stayed around here. All the players did. I mean, I never fucking talked to Cam Newton. I don't know what's going on in his head. But yeah, man, it's a crazy situation. Let me know what you think in the comments. This video is a lot longer than I had intended it to be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up here and get the rest of my day going. I'll see you on the next, man. I gotta go.